Welcome back. Last lesson we met AI in the abstract. Today we open the box and look inside, at tokens. Here is the first surprise. AI does not read words. It reads something called tokens. By the end of this lesson, you will understand what tokens are, why AI uses them, and why they matter every time you pay for an AI response. We will look at concrete examples, see how text gets split, and learn why compact writing saves you real money. Quick recap from last lesson. AI does not know things. It predicts what should come next, based on patterns it learned during training. Predictions, not knowledge. Hold on to that. Today we look at the unit AI actually predicts in. Not words. Tokens. Here is the surprise. AI does not read words. It reads pieces of words. Words are too irregular to predict reliably, long words are rare, short words are common, and the model struggles to predict a whole word at once. So instead, the model breaks text into smaller, more uniform units. Those units are called tokens. And tokens are what the model actually works with. So what is a token? A token is a piece of text, usually 3 or 4 characters. A common word like the is usually 1 token. A longer word like strawberry might be 3 tokens, straw, berry, and the boundary marker. A very rare word might be 5 or 6 tokens, broken into tiny pieces. Even spaces and punctuation are tokens. Everything you type, the model sees as a stream of these little pieces. Here are some concrete examples. The word that is 1 token. Cat is 1 token. Hamburger is 2 tokens, ham and burger. Strawberry is 2 or 3 depending on the model, straw, berry. The abbreviation API, with spaces between the letters, is 3 tokens. Even 3 exclamation marks count as 3 tokens. The rule of thumb, 1 token is roughly 4 characters of English, or 3/4 of a word. Words you know, split into pieces you have never seen. That is how the model sees your prompt. How does text get split into tokens? An algorithm called a tokenizer does the work. The tokenizer is itself trained on huge amounts of text. It learns which pieces appear most often, and uses those as its building blocks. Importantly, the same tokenizer is used for training the model and for using the model. So the model never sees raw words. It only ever sees tokens. Here is the next step. Each token gets a unique ID number, an integer. Common tokens like they have low IDs, because they were numbered first. Rare tokens have high IDs. Inside the model, your prompt becomes a list of numbers. The model does heavy math on those numbers, finds patterns, and produces the next number, which gets translated back into a token, which gets shown to you as text. Here is why tokens matter to you, the user. Providers charge per million tokens. There are 2 kinds. Input tokens, what you send in your prompt. Output tokens, what the model writes back. More tokens means more cost. More tokens also means a slower response. So if you care about cost or speed, you care about tokens. They are the unit of measure for everything in AI. Here is something most people don't realize. Tokenizers are trained mostly on English text. So English is the cheapest language to use. Spanish or French take about 1.5 times as many tokens for the same sentence. Hindi, Tamil, or Korean can take 3 to 5 times as many tokens. The same thought, expressed in a different language, can cost you significantly more. This is unfair, and the industry is working on it, but for now, it is the reality. Same idea, different language, very different token count. And very different cost. Here is a hidden cost. Every time you send a new message in a chat, the provider resends the whole conversation history. Your first message, the model's first answer, your second message, and so on. Tokens add up. A long chat can cost you much more than you think, because the same early tokens get charged for again and again on every turn. Some providers cap the total tokens per session, which is why very long chats eventually start forgetting the beginning. What does this mean practically? A page of text is roughly 500 tokens. A short chat is a few thousand tokens. A long chat can be tens of thousands. If you pay per use, you should watch your token count. Many providers show it in the interface. If you are on a flat rate plan, tokens still matter for speed, because more tokens means slower responses. Why does AI use tokens at all? It is not arbitrary. Tokens give the model flexibility. With tokens, the model can spell out a word it has never seen, just by combining pieces it does know. It can mix languages, switch to code, drop in an emoji, all in the same stream. If the model worked with whole words, it would be stuck. Any word not in its vocabulary would be a dead end. Tokens solve that. Tokens give the model flexibility. New words, mixed languages, code, emoji, all just tokens. Small choices in your writing change your token count. Donut is fewer tokens than donut. Extra spaces add tokens. 5 repeated A's is 5 tokens. None of this matters in a single message, but if you process thousands of messages a day, compact writing saves real money. This is why AI engineers often write in tight, dense English. They are optimizing for tokens, not for style. What does this mean when you write a prompt? Long, flowery prompts cost more, and respond more slowly. Concise prompts cost less, and respond faster. The model does not need politeness, it does not get offended. Say what you mean, then stop. You can always add a follow-up. This feels rude to humans. It is exactly right for an AI. If you remember one idea from this lesson, remember this. Tokens are the atom of AI. Everything you type becomes tokens. Everything the model writes back is tokens. Cost is measured in tokens. Speed is measured in tokens. The maximum length of a response is measured in tokens. Once you see tokens, you see how AI actually works under the hood. Tokens are the atom of AI. See tokens, and you see how AI works. Quick recap. AI does not read words. It reads tokens. A token is roughly 4 characters of English, or 3/4 of a word. You pay per token, both for what you send and for what the model writes back. And compact writing saves money and time. The model does not need your politeness. Here is a small exercise. Open a website called ticktokenizer.com. Paste in a paragraph you wrote, maybe an email you sent today. Watch how your words split into tokens. Then try the same paragraph translated into another language, and compare the token counts. 5 minutes of this, and you will never think about AI the same way again. Here are the terms you now know. Token, a piece of text the model works with, usually 3 or 4 characters. Tokenizer, the algorithm that splits your text into tokens. Input tokens, what you send. Output tokens, what the model writes back. Token ID, the number a token becomes inside the model. 5 terms. You now know more about AI internals than most people who use it daily. Coming up next, how much fits in the model's head at once? Tokens do not live forever. They live in something called the context window, a fixed size slot that holds the conversation currently in play. Short chats fit easily. Long chats eventually overflow. In the next lesson, we look at what the context window actually is, and why it changes everything about how you should chat with an AI. And here is what else is coming in this phase. After the context window, we look at hallucinations, why AI is so confidently wrong, so often. And then grounding, how to keep an AI honest. 3 short lessons, and you have the foundation to use any AI tool, not just open code, with real confidence. Tokens are the atom. The rest of the course builds on this idea. Thanks for spending this time with me. Next, we look at how much fits in the model's head, the context window.